In this climate of distrust, of such heightened political, ethnic, and religious sentiment around the country ahead of the election, don't you think it's incumbent upon INEC to take some proactive steps if there can be an assurance that whatever measures will be taken in this regard would not be based on the political calculations that may favor an incumbent president, for example?
That's what I'm saying, that it is when a decision has been taken that we can say, oh, Lord, we have not taken a decision. We are in the process. We are just assessing. You know, somebody is saying, come and do something here. We have to examine. In fact, if the information comes in from the states, it will still be subjected to scrutiny by a special committee.
Can you give us a sense of the breakdown of from the 3,789 requests you say you have received, where those requests are coming from, at what volume? Can we have some idea?
Well, it's coming from, I don't have the specifics now because I don't have the table. You know, it's a bulky document. It's from the north, the south, the southwest, and all of that. You know, and I'm just trying to, you know, bring this to your imagination about why this is coming in. You agree with me? Now, we've not had censors for quite some time, so we can't actually say, you know, how many we are in this country. But one thing that is certain is that we are increasing.
Two things you have said, you know, which have caught my attention, which is the fact that, one, INEC has guidelines for creating new polling units.
That's right.
We do not know if requests will form part of those guidelines. But can you take us through what the law says? I mean, if you are conversant with it, what the law says in terms of creation of new polling units. What are the guidelines for INEC?
Well, I'm not very conversant with the guidelines because, you know, I don't have, you know, the rules right now, so I can't be specific. But I know that, you know, it also depends on population.
Okay.
So you know, it depends on, you know, the number of people that exist in a particular area, like 700, 800 to a polling unit. You know, you can't bring too many people. So
INEC has guidelines for, you know, how many polling units you should be able to have based on population. You just talked about 700, 800 to a polling unit. Right. So if you have, say, 24,000 or 50,000, as the case might be, you should roughly have an idea of how many polling units, not talking about where they should be now, but roughly how many polling units that, you know, that particular local government or state should have, depending on the voting population.
That's right.
Now, do you think that INEC is looking at anywhere, even though you say that you have not yet certified and you're still going through the process, is INEC, from what it can see so far, would it say that it's going to be creating up to 30,000 new polling units based not just on requests now, but on the number of new people who have registered as potential voters? That's precisely the process that is ongoing, you know. You look at all the demographics, you look at all the statistics, you look at everywhere. You now, based on the rules that we have, determine how many polling units we need to create. Can you tell us very clearly? I know that initially I think it was, the Director of Voter Education was able to tell us how many new voters we have based on the continuous voter registration. Can you give us categorically and clearly how many people will now have registered?
We've registered about 6.9 million now.
New entrants?
Yes.
6.9 million?
Yes, all over the country.
Okay.
So based on that, don't you think that it justifies the creation of new polling units?
No. Excuse me.
It doesn't?
There was a question he asked that he shouldn't have any difficulty answering. And that is, what is the distribution of the 3,700 and something new ones? You were explaining it with having a lot of... No, if you can come up with that numbers, you should be able to break them down. There shouldn't be any problem about that. The distribution shouldn't be. And then secondly, look, in Nigeria, well, not only INEC, as I've said, the tendency is for these voters' numbers and things to be inflated. Now, it is counterintuitive in a situation where you have unclaimed PVCs averaging about 30, 40, 50% across the country. To now say that you are having new voters or other additional voters coming in or being compelled or having the need to create more PUs, more polling booths across the country. Now, this is the problem. you should be able to explain in the first instance what is responsible for this drastic, disparity when you send out on the basis of your registration or your register. You sent out 2 million PVCs to Imo State in the past 1 year or whatever. Up till now, it's only 50% of it that has been claimed.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
okay, well, that question will come immediately after this break. Please stay with us.
Download